Hello, this is video 3. You should go back and watch video 1. There are a lot of things that I cover in significant detail that I will not cover in as much detail in this video. So we'll go ahead and jump in. I really like the image that you found, and I like it looks like you creatively plated it, even though perhaps it wasn't on a plate. And I think that's working really well for you. I would suggest dropping off these diamonds. They appear to be a little bit cheesy. If you want to use small circles, I would use filled in circles, just regular old bullets, just because you have such a modern color palette and treatment of your imagery. So these kind of harken to like a less polished feel than the rest of your information did. Overall, like the visual impact of this ad is much better than the original, which I think is great. Some of it hierarchy-wise is a little bit tricky, but I can see why you made the choices that you did, and I think that I think that it's working because the purpose of the ad redesign is to really show how you took an original and you made it better. I think that's working for you here, and it is all legible, though all caps is the hardest to read, and you have a lot of all caps used in this area, which is already harder to read because of the text on a curve. So my suggestion would be to switch that up, or to at least choose a typeface that doesn't have these slab serifs, which can make it even harder to read. And then I think just probably the only other feedback I would have is potentially putting all of this in white as well. Because right now the two colors say two different pieces of information, which I think you mean for this to be read as one. And then the orange just doesn't have as much contrast as the white does. And this is supposed to be the most important information on the page. The last comment I'll leave you is just with the size of your document. It appears to be a little bit strange. Excuse me, because you have this background here. I would expect to see that going all the way to the edges. Now I think you could probably take all of this and make it a little bit smaller, because thinking back to video 1 where I cover this in more detail, this isn't a poster, it's a magazine ad. So do take care of that, but figure out what's going on with this big white border, which isn't really helping your cause here. And if you have specific questions about that, go ahead and email me. All right, so this is a really cute image, and I think it fits perfectly. Hopefully it's print quality, because all of the images used in this need to be print quality. And I think the only thing is it would be better if it could be just a little bit bigger, maybe like 10 or 15% bigger, or all this text inside was a little smaller. It just gets a little tight in some of these areas, and it has so much extra space that's a little bit confusing. I don't know that you need this rule line here to separate out these two spaces. If you do have a rule line, it's a little strange that it would be center aligned on both sides. If you wanted to left align this information, I think that could work. So as far as levels of information, I see level 1, 2, and then 3, 4. Maybe these are 3 and 4. So the way you have it organized helps me with the visual hierarchy, but there are a lot of different variations on the type. So streamline what you can, but I mean, these are really small changes. And then I had told someone else in the other class, you can go ahead and change this to 2020, just so it looks a little bit more relevant in your portfolio.